Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Hour. My name is Miguel Sanchez. I'm your host. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a podcast. It's never been easier, and they make more money than any other thing content creators are making right now, other than movies and stuff like that. But you got to take one step at a time, right? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Miguel Sanchez. I create content helping people with monetization and innovation. And along the way, I'm trying to help people find different revenue streams because we're heading into tough times. You want to make sure you have more than one revenue stream. So content creation is one of the easiest ones. And I'm going to walk you through all the things I use, all the AIs, all the tips, tricks that I've been using to create content for a long time. Actually, all pandemic, I've gone almost 150 pieces of content I put out in this pandemic. Thanks, Ed. So today, basically, I want to walk you through the process, but I want to explain to you why it's such a huge opportunity, right? So if you think about where we are, right? One of the biggest things that you see right now is the economy is slowly collapsing. Everybody sees it coming. Everybody knows what's going on. Jobs are getting lost. And we don't know when it's really going to really start or when it's going to end yet, right? So one thing that I've seen is in the business landscape, there's not many business types that you can do where you make money and you don't need to ask anyone to pay you. That to me is one of the types of revenue streams you want to make sure you're involved in a scenario like an economic collapse where people have less money to spend, right? So you gotta look at this opportunity of content creation, whether you're an entrepreneur or just an entertainer, whatever you think you are. There's an opportunity to tell your story on a podcast format and probably make some money. I'm going to show you like along the way how it's the number one opportunity right now to make money creating content. So it's been really, really interesting. I've been having all kinds of people from all different walks of life ask me, hey, how can I create a podcast? I've even had one of my friend's daughters, I don't even think she's 10 years old. She wants to create a podcast. And I just sent her a link to a mic the other day because she was asking me. So one big thing I want to let you know is that in the descriptions of all of this, and one thing is if you watch on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, you will actually be able to see my screen. So if you're watching this on Instagram, it's tough for me to do that. If you're on the podcast, it's definitely tough for me to do that. But there's links to the YouTube and all that everywhere if you want to actually see what I'm doing on the screen. So the reason why I tell you podcasting is such a huge opportunity is, let me break down each and every social media platform and how they monetize creators. So when you think of monetization through social media, the first one most people think about is YouTube, right? So YouTube has for the longest time been giving people money for creating videos, right? And everybody's like, oh, you go viral on YouTube, you'll make $1 million, right? But the way it actually works, especially now in 2020, is they change the rules a lot. And what happens is the earlier you get involved in content creation in a platform, the more likely you are to be monetized faster and more and make more money, right? So when you look at YouTube, when it first came out, they were monetizing people for very little amount of views, subscribers, all that, right? Over time, when it gets more mature, they have to start limiting who they pay and make sure people are really serious about producing on their platform to get paid. So right now, YouTube is at the point where you need to be able to have 4,000 hours of watch time to be able to make money. And you have to have 1,000 subscribers. So think about that. 4,000 hours of watch time is a lot of hours of watch time. That means you either have to have a short video go viral or have a lot of long videos get watched a lot. So I've taken the approach of creating longer form content on YouTube that I put everywhere, right? So this video, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching it on Facebook, wherever, it's going to be on the podcast. I'm recording all of them at the same time. So when I talk to you about all the things I'm doing, right now I got a camera in front of me with a specific type of stand. I got a computer, I got a mic, I got a phone, I got a wired in connection. I got a bunch of different stuff going. And if you wanna understand like all the stuff that it takes to get to this, right now I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all these different places. There's a link in the description that says TEH Gear. So it's the Entrepreneur Hour Gear. So you can see literally piece by piece of what I use, and you can literally buy whatever you think you need. So the thing is, though, the way you have to understand this content and this social media game is the sooner you get in, the better, right? The more likely you are to get monetization. So podcasting is still pretty new. So on YouTube, I think they said like 100 million people a day put up content. Some crazy number like that. On podcasts, the number is a lot smaller. So one, there's a lot of people listening to podcasts, but there's not a lot of people creating them. Of course, there's more and more. It's going to grow every day that you wait. So that's why, again, I always bring up this phrase, right? The second best time to plant trees is today, right? So even for me, I took a long hiatus during the coronavirus, and I didn't post podcasts because I just felt like people weren't moving around as much. So I focused on visual content instead of audio content. But I still have that content. So for instance, today I relaunched the podcast. I changed the look, I changed the name, and I used the first Entrepreneur Hour episode, which still is very valuable to you right now, because when I launched that, when I created that episode on YouTube, it was on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all that, I thought the coronavirus was going to last. We were going to be stuck inside for 30 days. Fast forward, we were stuck inside for almost 6 months or whatever it was. And now we're still on this like semi-lockdown scenario where we don't know, any day now we could be locked down again, right? So I'm going to commit to posting all of my episodes on the podcast platform, because it's funny, because as I was doing this, I was like, I got to come back to podcasting. So today I go in to look at and figure out, because I changed computers during the pandemic. So I had to like log in, figure out the logins. It's been so long since I even logged into the podcast platform that I went in and I looked and I saw that I made money. Even during the podcast, I didn't even post and I made money. But on YouTube, I've been posting almost every day during the pandemic and I made no money. $0. On podcasting, I made, I'll show you. It's gonna be funny, but I made money. I want to kind of show you the difference, right? And then I'm gonna break down all the different social media platforms and how you make money on them. So YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and have 4,000 hours within 1 calendar year of watch time. It's very rare you're going to be able to post one video and get that kind of, those type of views and subscribers. So you're going to have to create some type of consistency around creating. So that's why I decided to create this show, the Entrepreneur Hour. I do it every day, every weekday, right? And right now I'm playing around with times that make the most sense for me and places. So you'll see different backgrounds all the time, because I'm trying to figure out a place where I can do it consistently. And then I'll start bringing on guests and all these different things. First step for me is getting comfortable, make sure I have all the equipment, doing everything right. And then the next step is grow it, right? So, but when I look back, I have created over 150 shows during the pandemic. So even if I wanted to put out a new podcast episode every day, I can probably have a new podcast episode coming out for over a year as I keep making more, right? So right now I'm trying to figure out what's the cadence I'm going to do, if I'm going to do every day or I'm going to do every week. I think I'm going to try to do every day. I'm going to just put out something like every day. And I'm going to show you how I found a system that makes it much, much easier. Of course, there's things I'm paying for. There's things I've paid for already. So I'm going to show you all those things, right? So, okay, first step. If you look at YouTube and then you look at, what's the other one that pays? Right now, when I think of the platforms that actually pay creators, I think 1, podcast, 2, YouTube, 3, Twitter, right? I mean, not Twitter, Twitch. Twitch, if you have a channel, and again, okay, so if you think about how if you get in early, you get easier monetization, right? So what I told you about YouTube, with YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time before you make any money. With Twitch, you only need 50 subscribers and I think 20 hours a month of content, something like that. So think about that difference. You need 20 hours a month, which is 240 hours a year, and 50 subscribers on Twitch. And Twitch also has this very cool way of making money that I'll tell you. On YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So that's why you want to get into these platforms as early as possible and start getting consistent content up, because when you get grandfathered in, as they grow and they start making the requirements higher and higher, which they always do. And that's why I'm telling you, podcasting is such a huge opportunity, because of course this is going to change. Right now, podcasting is the number one revenue stream I can see for any content creator, because 1, the CPMs are higher, and the requirement to actually make money is nothing. There's nothing. All you have to do is put up a podcast, and if it starts getting views, you make money. And I'm proof of it. I'll show you. So in order of priority, I would say, what up, Jeff? What up, DJ? In order of priority, I would tell you podcasting number 1, YouTube number 2, Twitch number 3, right? So I broke it all down. Why? On the Twitch side, there's this extra layer that I want anybody watching to do for me, which is, if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber and you are on, let's say you don't even know what Twitch is, and you are paying for Amazon Prime, by subscribing to my channel, Amazon automatically, it doesn't cost you anything, they give me $5 a month for everyone who subscribes to my channel that has an Amazon Prime membership. So if you think about that, if you take it into all the other platforms, I'm going to break down. For Anchor, which is the podcasting platform I use, where I put my audio on, and I'll show you the back end of it and everything, they're paying $15 per 1,000 listens. $15 per 1,000 listens. YouTube, they say on average, depending on what you talk about on YouTube, it's anywhere from $1 CPM to, I've seen people as high as $20 CPM, but that's a very rare. It's more often it's in the 1 to 5 CPM. But most people I know, they're making 1, 2 CPM. So let's just take it at the highest level. Let's say in the middle, $3 CPM. So podcasting is 15, and that's off day one. Day one, no requirement. You put up a podcast and you put an ad for Anchor, you make $15 per 1,000 views, listens. On YouTube, you got to get to that 1,000 subscriber, and you got to have 4,000 watch hours before you make a dime. But once you start making the money, you make 1 to 5, let's just say $3 CPM. So every 1,000 views, you make $3. Every 1,000 listens, you make 15. On Twitch, if you get 3 people to subscribe using Amazon Prime, you make $15 right there without even 1,000 views. You don't even need the 1,000 views. Just because they subscribe to you and you have 50 subscribers and you do 20 hours of content a month, you get $15. So you can see how that can get really crazy. Imagine these gamers that have thousands of people who have Amazon Prime subscribing to them. They're making a lot more money taking advantage of being early in this platform. I'm not saying it's easy. None of this stuff is easy. But if you look at across the board, you have to understand the opportunities. And another big thing you have to do as a content creator, or just anybody in general, I always talk about the revenue stream thing, diversify. you can't only be on one of these platforms. That's just like crazy, because one of these platforms could just change the algorithm on you, change the requirement on you, change the way they pay you out, and you're done if you're just focusing on one. So that's why I do this show right now, where I'm literally live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, live, and this is going to go on my podcast, right? All from this setup here. And I think I'm going to take a picture of this setup so you can see what I do. But right now I can't do that because I'm using my phone for the live. But if you go back to the podcasting, the thing about podcasting that makes it even a much better opportunity is you don't have to worry about how you look and where you are and the lighting. So to me, in the beginning, I was just taking my phone. I was literally taking my phone and talking into my phone. Not even nothing else. Just my phone, talking into the phone. But luckily, I know how to edit. So I was taking that into an editing program, editing it up, putting music in the front and the back. And that was because I had the certain skill set. But I found a program. Actually, it was DJ. Good looking out, DJ. Who showed me this software that makes it much easier. I'm going to show you how I'm doing it right now. Of course, the service, it's a service. It costs $30 a month. But the amount of time it saves you, it's worth way more than $30 a month. And it will get more expensive. So that's why another thing, you got to start using these things early, because they grandfather you into the pricing of where you got in. So right now I'm paying $30 a month. When this thing eventually is $100, I still will be paying $300 because I got in when it was $300. 30. So first step is figuring out what you're going to talk about, though, right? For me, I didn't really know. I'll be honest. And I tell most people, just start. All right, so wait, Gamer Insights, please dive a little more in, Mike. All right, so Gamer Insight. When you are, if you're a streamer, if you want to be a streamer, I'm not sure if that's what you want to be, Jeff. What platforms are you using to stream on all outlets? OBS, Streamlabs? No, I'm using StreamYard. So in my descriptions, anywhere you look, actually in my bio on Instagram, you can link and go into the YouTube, and there's a description. On Instagram, I can't do the description till after, but I will. There's a link to StreamYard. StreamYard, and if you use my link, you get $10. I get $10. So use my link. So I use this platform called StreamYard, where on StreamYard, I just record into StreamYard. I have my mic connected, and it sends it. But also StreamYard costs, I think, $50 a month or $25, I forget. And StreamYard will stream up to 5 different platforms. So basically, when I put out a stream, it automatically sends it to Facebook. It sends it to my Facebook fan page, my Facebook personal page, my YouTube page, my Twitter page, and my Twitch page at the same time. And then I use Instagram to go live straight, because Instagram doesn't play nice with anyone yet. And you have to do Instagram by yourself. So that's why you can't see what I see when I show you my screen, because Instagram, they're just on their own thing right now. So, okay. Jeff, so no, but asking for my cousin. He wants to be a huge gamer and missing out on the Twitch money. Yes. So if you have a cousin that wants, and my son, I'm about to make my son a gamer, right? So I just built him a PC the other day, and I told him, I'm building you this because you're going to be a gamer. An E-League on YouTube gamer. Because he's destroying people on Fortnite, and he's doing it for nothing. I'm like, all right, we're going to start making you a real deal, right? So if you're looking at it as a gamer, I'll tell you that gaming on Twitch is kind of like this thing where you got to do it for long periods of time. So what I've seen in the gaming Twitch community, and Twitch in general, is kind of like you got to stream for hours, not hour. Like right now I'm doing the entrepreneur hour, 1 hour. And it's tough enough to fill an hour, right? But I'm talking to the TV like it's just me and you, right? It's just you and me, like Kanye said. But on Twitch, it's different because you don't have to be as entertaining. You just play the game. And some people are more entertaining than others, and that's how they grow their networks, right? So I tell my son that. I'm like, look, you can't just be... He wanted to originally just stream his gameplay, not his face. And I'm like, how are you going to grow your brand? He's like, what the hell are you talking about? But how are you going to grow your brand if nobody sees your face? And of course, there's like challenges because he's a child, right? So I'm like, as a parent, I'm like, do I want my son to have his face out there? But then as a businessman, I'm like, if I put him out there as 10 years old, he could be LeBron James at 20 of the gaming E-League and be making a substantial living that if I didn't do it, and he's still playing games for anyway, he has no opportunity to get, right? So to me as a parent, I'm like, I'd rather put him in the game and give him all the opportunity. And if he's interested in keeping it going, he does, or not. But if he's just playing games to play games, I see that as a total waste. So I'm trying to make sure he has at least some type of business mind that says, all right, if I'm going to do this, I might as well be trying to do it for my future. So that's my gaming aspect of it. But as a podcaster for gaming, I don't know how that could work because gaming is very, very visual of the game. But I do believe there's things you can talk about that the gaming industry is huge. There's things you can talk about that are good in the format of podcasting. Maybe it could be like tips on how to do better in the game, stories behind the game, stories behind these E-Leagues. Because even me right now, I've had a few people approach me about helping them create an E-League. And I'm like, how do I research E-Leagues? I don't even know where to start. So I'm like trying to figure out where they are, how it works. And if there was a podcast about it, I would listen to it, right? Right now, because I'm trying to get into that space for my son and for business. E-League is a huge opportunity. I just haven't had the passion enough to get in. But now my son is going to kind of make me get in there, right? So podcasting is really about creating a conversation either with a guest or with your audience, right? So to me, even right now, right, when I think about this, because I'm right now, like I said, I'm streaming live on video, so I got to keep it visually appealing. But on the audio side, I got to also keep it conversational appealing. So for me, I do have that stuff in my brain, but I don't like overthink it. So like right now, I'm about to start showing you screens. And if you want to really see the screens, you should really jump on the YouTube or Facebook. You can do it later or whenever, wherever you're watching. So the thing about this game is giving value, right? Right now, today I have a bunch of people watching because I said I'm going to show you how to make a podcast that makes money, right? You're not coming because you like my pretty face, right? You coming because I'm going to tell you how to do something that you didn't know how to do. And you think, all right, let me watch this and learn, right? And that's where, as a person that's creating on the other side, if you're interested, you have to do the same thing, right? Of course, if you think business minded, you have to kind of figure out why you're doing this, or you could just do it for the sake of doing it, knowing there's a huge audience that will watch and listen and grow your value and make you money, right? For me, I'm not really making podcast videos to make money on the advertising. I know by what I talk about, people will come to me and business opportunity will come to me because I have different business entities. So just me making this content, like I told you before, many different episodes, at least 500-600 people every day hear what I'm talking about across all these platforms. So of course I'm getting huge opportunities, and that's just off 600. Imagine the people that get millions and millions of views. Like it just must be insane. So why I think podcasting is number one is because it's the fastest growing. It's the easiest, zero requirements. Literally today you could put up a podcast. You could literally talk on your phone and put it up, put ads in it, and be making money that same day. There's nothing else like that that I've seen. Twitch is not like that. You need to get 50 subscribers, which is not easy on Twitch. On YouTube, you got to get 1,000 subscribers, which is not easy. And the harder one is the 4,000 hours of watch time. That is insane. I've been making content for the whole pandemic, and I'm not even at 1,000 yet. So you like it's work. And of course, I know I'm not talking about things like that most people care about. I'm talking about business. So we are a very small percentage of the community of the world that actually go for it and make businesses, right? Entrepreneurs are a small percentage of the population. So I'm not trying to talk about the thing that's the most popular in the world. I'm talking to a specific niche because those are the people I make money with. So I don't care if you're not an entrepreneur for you to listen, because we're not going to make money together anyway. So I'm making content to draw in people that I know I can make money with, right? So that's why I do all of this. So for you, what is that? What is the thing that makes you money that you think you need to draw people in, right? Because that's the best way to create content that gives them value, right? And I spoke about this in yesterday's episode a little bit more too, how to use social media, how to use product management and lean startup model. So let me get back to showing you some, you can set up links while you wait to hit the 4K views and 1K subscribes. You're right. So I just said in my description, there's links. Almost all those links are what's called affiliate links. If you don't know what affiliate links are, it's like I said, if you use my StreamYard, you get $10, I get $10. But because I'm the one creating content, you get the $10 once, I get the $10 many times, right? So that is a way to make money before you actually make money on the ads. So if you align yourself with an affiliate link that makes good money every time you sell, because like Amazon, for instance, they give you like 8% of everything that people buy. So full disclosure, if you go into my links and buy the camera I use, Amazon gives me 8% of that sale, right? So that I could be making money. And this week, I've made almost $100 in affiliate. And I get no views. Imagine when the views are crazy. I get like 600 views a day. It's not even like you would think, right? But that's also across many different platforms. If you go into one individual platform, you'll see 50, 80, 100, 120. You won't see 600 on one yet, right? But eventually I get there and it was going to be crazy, right? That's why I put these links everywhere. I know it might be annoying some places, but I'm like, those links are going to be there. And they work. They work. People are clicking them and buying stuff. So, that's one way to easily make money before anything. And you could do it with podcasting too. So if you go to the podcast link of this show when it's up, it's not up yet today, but I did release a podcast today. I have the links there too, because as people come and find, I want them to follow me. I want them to click the links, and I'll make money on top of the 15 CPM. So I'm going to start showing my screen. I know if you're on Instagram Live, I'll try to make it still. And if you're on the podcast in the future, I'm going to try to make it as visually, I'm going to try to be as, I'm going to try to explain it with color commentary so you understand what you're looking at. All right. So first things first, share my screen. So first thing I want to have you look at is the dashboard of Anchor. So where everything starts out is this platform called Anchor. Anchor.fm, right? So that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. What Anchor does is it's freaking brilliant, and Spotify bought it. Super genius move. So what Anchor does is you take your audio file and you throw it on Anchor and you pick the positions where you want ads. And Anchor takes that file, puts it on Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, and a bunch of other platforms. The most popular podcast platforms, Anchor puts your podcast on all of them for you for free. And then that ad, the first ad you can do is day one. And this is not going to be forever. So I'll tell you right now, you're going to want to do it as soon as humanly possible. Anchor day one pays $15 CPM, which means for every 1,000 listens, you make $15, right? So that's going to change. 1,000% is going to change. That's going to go away. So you want to sign up right now and get grandfathered into that deal. And you got to record your own Anchor ad though. So sometimes that's hard for people. I know a lot of people struggle with it. I did too, but I don't care. 15 CPM. I'll figure it out, right? So right now, I've created 12 episodes, I feel like. So I'm on episode, I think, 13. So early in the year, I was doing podcasting every day. And then I got the pandemic. I was like, you know what? I don't think people are going to be listening to podcasts. I think people are going to be on YouTube more, Facebook more. So I said, let me go more in that direction. But now, like I said before, I can just start bringing those back out. Because the information is like not relevant to the specific time of when it was posted. It's basically general business entrepreneur information. So it works forever. So why I tell you right now, podcasting is the number one thing I would be thinking about if I was a content creator or somebody that's looking for another revenue stream, is because of the 15 CPM and the zero requirement and how easy a podcast is to do. Like, I'm going to show you from start to finish the tools I use. And I literally, this morning, I woke up and I said, you know what? I'm not playing around no more. I'm going to put a podcast up every day. And I got up and I did what I did, and the podcast was up today. And I was like, man, I totally messed this up. I should have been doing this the whole pandemic, right? So then I log in to Anchor and I see I made money. And I was like, I've been working on content all pandemic, making no money on none of these platforms. And I made money on the platform that I literally did not make one piece of content for the entire pandemic. And that is a lesson for me too. Diversify. I could have been doing it. No doubt about it. I just thought I made my own dumb decision that nobody's going to be listening to podcasts. I made money during the whole time, not even posting anything. So in a way, you got to just think like that. You got to make sure you're not only on one platform. You're not only relying on one revenue stream either, ever in your life, in content creation. You got to be looking at different revenue streams, because you're about to see in a pandemic that one revenue stream could go away like this. So I highly just suggest you start looking at this. So if you're watching right now and you can see my screen, what you're looking at is, and let me just make sure nobody's asking me questions on Facebook. What you're looking at is all the shows. So you can see I'm not even getting that many views. Every single one of my YouTube videos, Facebook, Instagram, get more views than this. Every single one. But then I'm going to show you how much money I made versus making zero on the rest. And I'm going to give you a spoiler. Spoiler alert. I have not even made 1,000 views of podcast listens. Podcast listens that are views. I haven't even got to 1,000 yet. So I don't even know how many subscribers I have to the podcast. I don't even have 1,000 listens. And I made money. Versus YouTube, I've made over 100 videos, thousands of hours of content. 1,000 watch hours, almost 1,000 watch hours, made zero. Facebook, same thing. Instagram, same thing. $0, $0, $0. Here, less views, more money. Easier to produce. And I'm going to show you how. So right here, when you log in, they give you what's called a profile page for your podcast. So mine is anchor.fm/Miguel Sanchez. And then you'll land on what I'm calling the Miguel Sanchez World Podcast, right? Make ideas reality. You got to make a cover. But they have tools that allow you to make the cover on Anchor just through their system. Anchor is actually really cool. They let you edit. They let you add images, music. It's all built right into Anchor, which is really cool. I just want to make sure I don't have any comments real quick. All right. So, and then you see how it links to your social media platforms, and you see on my description I have links to my YouTube and all that. And here I'm not really linking to all the affiliate links like I was talking to you about, but in the episode, which is this one, I do. And I'll show you episodes, and I'm going to show you the page of that episode. So you see here, I have all the affiliate links and everything. Anybody clicks any of those links, I'll make $10 here, $30 there, $20 here. And it adds up. It adds up. As the views go up, there's people I know that make $40,000 a month just on affiliate links. That is freaking crazy. But of course, they're getting millions and millions of views. They're targeting things that more people care about. Like I said, my content is really catering to 10% of the population, maybe, right? So at the end of the day, I just posted this and I already got 5 views, right? Of course, I've been promoting it everywhere, but it's not like it has thousands of views, right? So you see how they have this tab called money, right? And on the tab called money is where you'll see how much money I'm making right now on the podcast. So let me show you. I just want to make sure I show you everything before the money. Okay, dashboard. So here's where you see how, there you go. There you see the money. So look, I've only had less than 300 plays. It says my estimated audience size is 5 people right now. And I've already made $2 and almost 50 cents. Versus YouTube, I have about 300 subscribers. Facebook, I have a bunch of Facebook friends. On Instagram, I have like 2,000 people. Make $0 on all of those. On Twitch, I think I got like 10 subscribers. Make zero. Here I have 5 and I made $3 almost. Can you imagine how much money you would be making if, like, let's 10 times this. That's $20 a month on 50 people. That on YouTube, to get $20 a month, you would need like 20,000 views. Like, that's crazy. It's a crazy difference. So that's why I really think the opportunity of podcasting is just so amazing. So let me keep going. So okay, you see this dashboard, it will show you the ups and downs of when people watch, what episodes are most popular. So right now, my most popular episode is the coronavirus opportunity. Before that, it was the one where I was talking about my first ayahuasca experience, right? So I didn't even know. Like, I posted this March 17th. This is like the day it really went in on Corona. The coronavirus went, and I stopped. Did I do one more? No, yep, I just did one today. So from the day the coronavirus to today, I didn't make any one post, right? And it made money over those days. And then you could see where your traffic is coming from, what platforms, right? Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. Where in the world? So I got mostly US. I got some Ireland, some different places around the world. I'm not sure why. My name is on the low. My name is International Mike. I tell everybody that if you know me. So you can see the audience type. Another huge reason this is such a huge opportunity is Spotify is creating this ad platform. I don't know if it's super public. I'm pretty sure it's public. They're creating an ad platform so where you put your breaks in your podcast and people can bid on putting an ad in that break. So what does that mean? That the CPMs are going to get a lot higher than 15. If you get to the point where your podcast has people bidding on advertising on it, if the baseline is $15, imagine where it could get. You could be talking about $100 CPM, and I'm showing you I made $3 on 5 people. Imagine on 5,000 people with $100 CPM. You could literally pay a lot of your bills, if not years of your bills, just off creating a podcast that hits the right audience. So this is why I'm creating this content today, because I really think you need to jump on this, because all this is going to change. They're going to change the requirements. They're going to change the money. They're going to change everything. So you got to get in the sooner the better. Also, the sooner you get in, the easier it is to grow, because there's less competition. So if you got in on YouTube the year it came out, there was less people creating, so you blew up faster. Now there's way more people creating, especially during the pandemic. So it's much harder to grow now. But you got to look at it in the long run anyway, because look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan just made a deal for $250 million because of his podcast. And you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. He worked on that podcast for 10 years before he got that deal. And of course, he made money along the way, but in the very early time, he was making nothing. And he's a celebrity. But he blew up because there was very little competition. Celebrities were laughing at him for doing the podcast. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing on that podcast thing? That's so dumb. Now who's dumb? He's made $250 million plus Spotify stock, and he's gonna take off. But 10 years. So in my estimation, when I said I was willing to do this, I said I'm willing to do this whole content game for 10 years. I don't care. I don't care if I don't make money, because I know I'll make money around it. I'm already making money on the affiliate links. I'm already gonna make money from opportunities that are coming to me every day. So I'm cool. It's if this starts to make me money on top of that, hallelujah, right? It's the best place you can be. And what I said again, able to make money without asking anyone to give me any money. So in my other businesses, I have to literally sell. I have to tell you, hey, I'm willing to make this for you. It's going to cost you this. Oh, I want to pay that. Negotiation. Stress. Okay, take this deal. Versus Just watch, and I make money. Major difference, right? And then on top of that, I'm making money while I am also selling for all those other businesses. Because Joe Rogan, he's getting opportunity to be an investor in businesses, be a spokesman of other businesses, because it's popular. His podcast is so popular. So now he has many revenue stream opportunities. And that's what you have to understand. This is one of the easiest revenue streams I've ever seen. And I'm not saying you're going to be able to make $1 million a month unless you blow up. And it's possible. Joe Rogan definitely is after 10 years. But it's worth getting in this game. I'm telling you right now, it's worth it. You better jump on it as soon as possible. So let me show you some more. So then they have this money section where it shows you, basically they connect an account to Stripe, right? And it says, look, it's based on how many times your ad is played. So if you see, Anchor is my only ad sponsor right now. When you get to a certain point and you get a lot of listens, more sponsors come in and offer you more than 15 CPM. So I'm not there yet, but other people I know are. But if you see, it says it right here. Anchor CPM, $15 CPM. I'm telling you, there's not many things like that. I haven't even seen one other than certain types of content on YouTube, which is financial content like I create. Of course, I'm going to go for the highest CPM, of course. But I'm not there yet. It's going to take me time. So I'm hoping when that whole ad revenue thing happens on Spotify, it's the same idea where financial information has the highest CPMs. So, of course, I'm thinking like a businessman. I'm not just going to create content around dumb things that are not going to make me money. But it happens to be that talking about entrepreneurship makes me money because I connect with entrepreneurs, and it also benefits me through the higher CPMs. So we'll see. Over time, I'll get there. And I don't care if it takes 10 years. I'm good. So when you look at it, right, and then this is StreamYard. If you're watching my screen, this is StreamYard, and this is how I manage all this. So DLM, when you say promoting it everywhere, do you mean primarily social media like Facebook, Twitter, etc.? Yes, I do. I'm promoting this everywhere on LinkedIn. So that's another thing. This also will send my show to LinkedIn, but I'm not an approved show creator on LinkedIn yet. Once I get that, it's on, because LinkedIn is my top social media platform. It's where I have the most followers, the most everything. And I'm not even able to put my videos on there yet because there's a 10-minute limit. So what I have to do is I have to chop out the best clips and put them up there till they give me the opportunity to put my show there. Once they let me put my show there, that's when it's on, right? So right now, I literally have to hand do it all myself. So it's fun times. But it's totally worth it. Over time, it grows and grows and grows. And it's just like compound interest, right? You just keep on benefiting from the old stuff more and more and more. So right now, of course, I've had Twitter for a long time. I've had YouTube for less than a year, though. I haven't really done YouTube till the pandemic. The podcast I did start before the pandemic. Facebook, of course, I've had longer than the pandemic. The real truth, though, is I really wish I would have taken the podcasting thing more serious and the YouTube thing more serious earlier, because I think it would have been a very, very good use of my time. The problem is I thought it took a lot of time. So I never wanted to really, I was like, I'm busy with my business. I'm not gonna do that. That's for like entertainers, not really understanding the true value of it. So, okay, I got about 15 minutes left. I want to start showing you guys some of this stuff. So if you look, I'm going to show you this app called Descript. So what Descript does is, so I was in this Descript, I was searching because I was trying to make one of my podcasts clean, and it was a lot of cursing. So I was literally, what Descript does, and I had another episode where I explained what Descript does. Descript will take your audio, it transcribes it into sentences, and then you can just delete the sentences you don't like, and it edits the video for you through AI, and it exports your audio and your video edited to the way you wanted it to sound, which is freaking incredible. And this morning, I didn't even realize it did this. I was, first day, I'm like, all right, I need to make a podcast. let me try to do it all in Descript. So I go in Descript, and you could do an audio because I didn't have a new intro outro. I needed to put that in. So in Descript, you can literally talk into Descript and say the sentences you want, and then edit them and make your intro and outro. So you could pretty much make your entire podcast in Descript for $30 a month. It's really hard to beat that. Like to do it another way, you're gonna need Audacity, which is a free program, a free audio program, but you gotta learn it. And it definitely doesn't do this transcribing thing where it takes away the audio and it makes it text, and you can literally just read and listen to how it sounds and edit like that. In Audacity, you're gonna have to literally look at sound waves and chop based on what you hear. So it's a lot harder. It's the old school way, but it is possible for free if you want. So someone else hit me up. My boy Ricky hit me up like last week, I think, or this week. And I told him about Audacity because it was free. But I also told him about Descript. It was $30. But I look at things as how much time does it save me versus how much do I have to pay. So if I didn't have Descript, I don't even think any of this stuff would be possible. I think I would just post it and leave it and move on. But now I get to take that same content, make it a podcast, make it a short clips, take the text, make them a blog post, closed caption, which all helps your SEO and helps people find you, right? Because what you talk about, the text in there, Google is searching it. So if you're talking about something a lot, your stuff is going to come up. And that is super powerful. And that's where podcasting is going to be. When they really light that up, it's going to be a wrap. Like, I think podcasting is going to be the number one form of content consumption. Big statement, but here's the reason. If you think about other types of content consumption, you have to literally be sitting, watching, listening. Podcasting, all you have to do is listen. You could be running, you could be jogging, you could be anywhere driving, and you could still get the information. That's hard to beat. With YouTube, you can't be driving and watching a YouTube. Like, you crash, right? You can't be watching an IG live while you drive or while you run, right? Or while you exercise in any other way. But you could be listening to a podcast. So this is huge. I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge way of people consuming information. So you want to be on top of it. That doesn't mean I don't believe in the visual stuff. I'm a visual person. I make sure my stuff looks really good because I do believe the visual does matter. But when I say what's going to be the lion's share of the consumption, eventually it will be podcast. I truly believe that. So that's why I'm getting back in and making sure all these episodes end up on my podcast. And every episode that I do from now on, even some of the stuff that I'll just make a little audio only clip, I'll throw on the podcast. Where to make a video on YouTube, I got to figure out where I'm going to shoot it. I got to have my camera. I got to have all this equipment. Podcast, all I got to do is, but of course I got better stuff. And if you want to see my stuff, it's on the link in the description. I could just literally take my phone and talk and make a podcast out of that. I could do that. But I have a little bit more of a professional setup because I want my stuff to sound good. But you don't have to. And in the early ones, you'll hear, they weren't. It was just straight up my mic. And the mic on the Apple iPhone is pretty solid. It's pretty good. You can really rock on it. You don't need anything else. Of course, you can upgrade and get stuff like a lav mic, which I have. And I have used on some of the podcasts. But over time, I evolved. This one cost, I think it was like $40-$60. The first one I bought was like $10. Over time, you start investing more in your own production level. In the beginning of my show, I was just working off my Max camera. Then I was like, wait a minute, I can make a DSLR. The image will look way better. Let me do that. Then I was like, you know what? Let me make sure my sound is really good. So I got one mic. Then that mic was really hard to travel with. So then I got another mic that's easy to travel with. So over time, you start to understand your limitations and you create things around them. And even how I'm on Instagram Live right now. I'm on Instagram Live because I have this piece that connects to my desk that basically holds my phone up so it can watch me it could put me in a good position and I don't got to be holding my phone the whole time. So like right now I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Eventually I'm going to be on LinkedIn too, once they accept me. So accept me, LinkedIn. All at the same time. Off a camera, a computer, and a phone. That's not bad. Like before, to do that, you needed multi-million-dollar freaking studios, which, let's just face it, we just don't have access to. Now you could do all this anywhere. I literally carry all of this stuff in a book bag, and I could go anywhere. When I travel, I take my book bag, and I can create a show wherever I am. Live may be hard because I need a good internet connection, but I still could go live. I did live in DR just off my phone. So StreamYard will let you, off your phone, record live and go straight to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that. But not Instagram becomes a problem because Instagram Live only does through the app on the phone. So you can't do that, right? So that's where you need a setup if you want to be everywhere like this, like I have right now. So there's a description in my link that shows you everything I have. You could literally buy step by step everything I have, or just the 1-2 things you think you need, right? But Descript is a huge time saver for me. And what is it? It's an AI automation. What I've been talking about the whole time, all my content, I said I try to find AIs that amplify human ability. This has amplified my ability to create content. If I didn't have Descript, I would have a lot less content out there. No doubt about it. It makes editing so much easier. It makes creating these short, cool, better clips, snackable clips, way easier. It makes making a podcast way easier. $30 a month. That's worth it to me, right? So, and when I talk about Descript, there's no affiliate link. So I'm 100%. If there's an affiliate link, I'll tell you. But that's no affiliate link. It literally is just saving me money. And I can't wait till they have an affiliate link, because then I'm going to make even more content about it. So when I come back to it all, these are my tricks. And then when you look at the podcasting, the reason why you want to create a podcast that comes out often is because the way podcasting works is, if you look at my screen right now, of course you have to be on YouTube or Facebook or watch later. I'm the number 2 person up here, right? Why is that? Because I posted my podcast today. So what the podcast networks do is, all the people you subscribe to, so please subscribe to my podcast everywhere, wherever you like listening to podcasts. What will happen is, every time I have a new podcast, it puts me at the top of your recommended podcast listens, because it's new. So I saw that with Gary Vee, because very early on I would see people put out podcasts like every other week, every week. But then I got on the podcast and I would see Gary Vee first every day. And I'm like, how is he gaming this system? So I realized it's because he puts out a podcast literally every day. So he's in front of everybody every day, just growing his numbers, right? So I said, all right, I got to go every day. So I've created over 100 pieces of content. I could go every day for months, right? From right now. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to, so please subscribe to my podcast too, if you like listening to podcasts, which I tell you, podcast listening is also one of the best ways, I feel, of consuming information. I'm an audiobook junkie now. So podcasting is like the cousin of the audiobook. And it's sometimes, a lot of times, more interesting because it's conversational instead of informational. So, and it's learning. So, and of course there's some that are not learning, they're more entertainment based. But I'm the type that doesn't read fiction. I'm only a nonfiction reader and listener. So for me, I like just learning stuff. I'm in a very rare percentage of people that are like that. I understand that. But even when you're being educated, but it sounds conversational, that's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat that. So I think even the book selling and stuff like that, let me tell you another thing I've noticed. If you write a book and it becomes a great selling book, you don't make as much as you think off those books. You make, on an Audible book, you make like $1. On an actual physical book, you make probably like $3, $4, $5 the most. So you got to sell a lot of books versus not ask anybody to buy anything from you, just listen, and in podcast format, you make $15 CPM. So let's say 1,000 listens, you make $15. You have to sell 15 books, audiobooks, to make that same $15. I think it's harder to sell 15 books than get 1,000 listens. So again, it keeps coming back to podcasting be the number one revenue stream for a content creator. I don't know a better way to say it. But when you are creating your podcast, here's a big thing that you need to understand. So when you look at Anchor, and I'm going to go into today's episode and I'm going to edit it so you can see how it really works. So of course you put the links. So here's all my affiliate links. And again, if you're watching on Instagram, watch on YouTube later or Facebook or wherever you want to watch. I'm literally showing my screen of how I do it. Or on the podcast. Here you'll see that there's an area where you can edit where it chops the ad up. Okay, so maybe because this episode it had curses, it may not have ads, but let's see this one. All right, so you see here, it says the segments of when you put an ad. So another big thing is Anchor doesn't like you to put ads in the front. They're not going to give you the CPM or any money for their ads if you put it in the front. But there's other brand deals you can create on your own that do allow that and do want that. Once you get to a certain level, you can reach out to people and say, hey, I get 1,000 plays a day. Why don't you give me 50 CPM to be the first ad on my podcast? And don't think that's not something I'm thinking about, right? Before the podcast even starts, you can have an ad. Anchor just doesn't like that. They like ads in the middle because that means people are listening, right? They're listening to your content, so they want to make sure people are listening to people that they're actually paying out, right? They don't want to just be gamed by the system. So if you put ads in the front, you're gaming the system in their estimation, which is true. It's true. YouTube is the same way. Anything with, they call it intermediate ads. I think that's the word. Any ads in the middle of content make a lot more money. Ads in the beginning make less money because why? People just skip them, right? So if you're in the middle and you're in the zone of listening or watching and an ad plays, sometimes you let it play because you're doing other stuff, you're listening. So they know that. Of course they know it. They got all the data and they're willing to pay you more for those. So that's where you want to make sure when you're putting, so right here with mine, right, you see, I put my first ad after 36 seconds. So what I like to do is I like to say who I am, what the podcast is about, and what this episode is going to be about. And then I go to an ad. And if you're interested, you're going to stick around, listen to the ad, and then watch. And then you're going to listen to the rest, right? So that's a middle. And then I'll put one at the end. So I may want to put one in the middle. I don't know. We'll see. I'm learning this game too, like anything else. And why you see I put 3 ads here. It's not because they're going to put 3 different ads unless they do eventually give me more options. Some podcasters you hear, like Joe Rogan, Tim Ferriss, they read a bunch of ads in the beginning, but these guys are making millions off those reads because they get so many listens. They took advantage of the platforms early. So they were the first ones in, and they already had large audiences. So they were drawing them to the podcast. The CPMs were probably even higher than 15. They're definitely higher for them. So that's why I say the sooner you get into this thing, the better. So I basically wanted to make sure I showed you everything. I show you the script. So the script will let you, like you see right here, you can see the content. You can see how that's Paco, my man Paco. He's talking, but if I delete this, it deletes it from the. See how it deleted his that sentence from the video and the audio. So now if I exported this, that would be gone. So I'm going to undo that because I want that in there. So that's what Descript does, where I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. It saves me so much time. It's crazy. Then you can export. You can export social media posts where it's like just an image and the text comes out. You could also export the closed caption so you could put it on the image of the video. So like if you've seen any of my videos, sometimes you'll see the closed caption under of what the person is saying. That's all exported out of Descript. If I had to do that by hand, and I never did it, I know how to do it, but I'm not spending all that time. With this, it's one click. Done. AI. It's literally changing the scenario here. So basically, I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys all of this, you know, and thank you for anyone who's listened this far. Please like it wherever you're watching it, listening to it. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the Twitch if you have Amazon Prime, please. And thank you. I truly appreciate anyone who's watched this far, and I really look forward to hearing about your podcast. I want to know anybody who makes a podcast after listening to me talk about it. I really, and I also want to help. I'm basically want to create a small group of people that I help make their podcast, because I want to learn how to create a course around this, and then of course make money off the course too. So revenue stream, but content creation. Remember, innovate every day. It's a huge thing for me that I always tell everybody. And even in this content piece right here, I'm teaching you an innovation that you can literally take advantage of today. So please do. Hopefully, I've helped you in some way. Thank you so much.